Welcome to Shabbat with a Schmear. I'm Meredith Berkman, aka Shabbat Mom, and I am here at Barney Greengrass with my good friend Rabbi Adam Mintz. Rabbi Mintz, this week, Parshat Pinchas. We're going to talk about feminism, aren't we?
We sure are. The daughters of Tzlafchad. They have no brothers, their father died. What about their inheritance? They come to Moses and say, it's not fair that inheritance only passes through the males. We don't have any males in our family. What are we going to do? And what happens? They win in the sense that they are able to inherit their father. Now there's a limit. They have to marry within the tribe, but they stand up for their rights. Moses checks with God and they get what they want.
So one question, isn't this one of, I remember reading, this is one of only 2 examples where Moshe says, I don't know, I have to check with God. What's the other example?
So the other example is the person who curses God. Also, Moses is not sure. There's actually a third example of the person who collects wood on the Sabbath. There also Moses is not entirely sure what to do. It's hard to know why these cases Moses has to check with God. It's kind of interesting just to think about a legal system where when you don't know the answer, you kind of just send a text to God. But I mean, if it works, it works. But what do you make of the feminist politics?
Well, I mean, if they had had a Supreme Court in Israel, the biblical version of RBG clearly would have ruled in favor of these women. And I mean, the first time that I remember really focusing on, reading in English because my Hebrew is no good, but reading this story very carefully and putting it in the proper context, sort of emotionally and intellectually, that's the moment when I knew that if I had a daughter, and I have 3 and 1 son, that I would name my first daughter for Noah, Bat Tzlafchad, because this is such a powerful story on 2 levels. One, that these young girls had the chutzpah to go and challenge Moshe and say, this isn't fair. These are young girls. To be able to say, no, the system doesn't work, and we want our portion, the strength of that, and then to be told that you're right, from this moment on, women without brothers could inherit. They could inherit land. I mean, of course, one could say, well, what kind of a feminist story? They still, only if there are no brothers, they have to marry within the tribe. But in the context of the time, this is a powerful story. And that's why my first daughter is named Noah, for that story.
And I think that, that idea of you have to take everything in its context. The fact that today you would say, Moses didn't go far enough, or God didn't go far enough in terms of allowing the women their rights, but in the context of the times, it really is an amazing story.
It is, and you have to start somewhere. I think this is one of my, I have 3 daughters, and I often wonder, the other names are also lovely. I just thought that if I named a daughter Hoglach, it might not go over well, so I went with Noah. But it is a very powerful story, and that's why, frankly, I think the name Noah is so popular in modern Israel, because people see her as a feminist hero, her and her sisters. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.